Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod and with me is R.S. Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Very severe cyclonic storm Yas moves northwestwards, weakens into severe cyclonic storm, leaves behind heavy damage to property and life. IMD says Odisha, West Bengal, Andaman Nicobar Islands are much affected by cyclone. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses virtual Vesak global celebrations on Buddha Purnima. Says life of Gautam Buddha is about peace, harmony and coexistence. National daily COVID-19 recoveries continue to outnumber new cases for the 13th consecutive day. Recovery rate further improves to 89.66%. More than 72,000 vials of antifungal drug amphotericin B allocated to all states and union territories in the last 5 days. Over 20 crore 6 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered to the beneficiaries till now. Government has no intention to violate right of privacy, says Minister of Electronics and Information Technology Ravi Shankar Prasad. NHAI issues guidelines to ensure service time of not more than 10 seconds per vehicle even at peak hours at toll plazas. And in sports, India assured of 12 medals as Sanjeet, Sakshi, Jasmine, Laboria, Simranjit Kaur and Shiva Thapa advanced to the semi-finals of the Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. As the number of COVID cases are on the rise, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard, take all precautions, and all those above 45 years of age who have taken the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to get vaccinated with the second dose at the scheduled time. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Indian Meteorological Department IMD has said that Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Odisha and West Bengal were much affected places due to cyclone Yas. Briefing media in New Delhi, Director General IMD Mrityunjay Mohapatra said Odisha recorded highest rainfall and sea waves of 2 to 4 meters height, which were recorded in North Odisha and adjoining districts of West Bengal. He said due to cyclone Yas, huge rainfall was recorded. Mr. Mohapatra said the track length of cyclone Tote was 1,800 kilometers, while cyclone Yas has the track length of 1,000 kilometers.
जो ज्यादा प्रभावित क्षेत्र रहा वो रहा अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड, जब डिप्रेशन इसके पास खड़े थे। इसके बाद ओडिशा और वेस्ट बंगाल के ऊपर इसका प्रभाव रहा और कल सुबह तक झारखंड में इसका प्रभाव होने का भी उम्मीद है। ये डायरेक्ट हिट ओडिशा कोस्ट को करते हुए सबसे ज्यादा बारिश ओडिशा में रिकॉर्ड किया गया। सामुद्रिक लहर 2 से 4 मीटर ऊंचाई का नॉर्थ ओडिशा और एडजॉइनिंग वेस्ट बंगाल का जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, जैसे बालासोर, भद्रक, मेदिनीपुर और 24 परगना में रिकॉर्ड किया गया। दोनों साइक्लोन का हम कंपेयर करें तो जो साइक्लोन अरेबियन सी में डेवलप हुआ वो एक एक्सट्रीमली सीवियर साइक्लोन स्टॉर्म रहा जब तट को पार कर रहा था, विथ विंड स्पीड ऑफ 160 to 170 गस्टिंग to 190 kmph, जबकि ये साइक्लोन यस इस कंपैरिजन में लेस इंटेंस रहा और 130 to 140 kmph विंड स्पीड के साथ तट को पार किया।
In West Bengal, administration is making assessments of the damage caused by the impact of the very severe cyclone Yas, which made landfall this morning. Extremely high tidal waves and stormy winds along with heavy to very heavy rainfall flooded low-lying areas and coastal areas and also submerged nearby villages and towns in several districts of Bengal. At several places, disaster management teams rescued people who were stranded due to sudden rush of water, either by breaking the embankments or overflowing of the guard walls. Agricultural land has been extensively damaged due to inflow of saline water in the fields. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee told reporters in Kolkata today that at least 1 crore people have been affected and 3 lakh houses damaged due to rough weather conditions arising out of the cyclone. 134 river embankments along the coastal districts have either broken or been damaged by its impact. The Chief Minister will visit the affected areas of North and South 24 Parganas and East Medinipur on the 28th and 29th of this month.
The Odisha government has undertaken post-cyclone restoration work on a war footing in the affected districts. Though the very severe cyclonic storm Yas has already crossed the North Odisha coast around noon today, the adjacent interior district of Mayurbhanj is still witnessing heavy rain and wind. As per preliminary reports, substantial waterlogging, damage to thatched houses, large-scale uprooting of trees and inundation along the coast of Baleshwar and Bhadrak districts have taken place. The cyclone has also induced high-intensity rainfall in the Simlipal Biosphere Reserve area.
The very severe cyclonic storm has left its footprints of destruction in the North Odisha district, though the extent of damage has not been as severe as was feared. While 2 deaths, one each from Baleshwar and Bhadrak district, have been reported, tidal water has ingressed into about 120 villages in the 2 most cyclone-impacted districts of Baleshwar and Bhadrak. Local administration, in association with the relief and rescue teams of NDRF, ODRAF and State Forest and Fire Service Department, have already engaged themselves in road clearance works in the districts like Baleshwar, Bhadrak, Jagatsinghpur, Kendrapada and Jajpur. While the electricity supply lines are being verified for early restoration of power across the cyclone-impacted districts, the cyclone has had no destructive impact, especially on telecommunication network. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Most parts in Jharkhand have been witnessing the impact of cyclonic storm Yas, as there has been intermittent heavy rainfall since late last night yesterday. More from our correspondent.
Cyclone Yas, moving at a speed of 10 km per hour, is predicted to enter Jharkhand late this evening. 4 districts of the state, East Singhbhum, West Singhbhum, Saraikela Kharsama and Simdega, have been put on red alert, and rescue operations by the district administration and NDRF teams are being continuously monitored. Regional Weather Department has predicted extremely heavy to heavy rainfall and issued red, orange and yellow alerts for districts of Jharkhand for the next 5 days. Shilpi, AIR News, Ranchi.
The Shillong-based Eastern Air Command EAC has mobilized its assets to prove a quick response in affected areas as Cyclone Yas began its landfall. A press communique from the Defence PRO said that all rescue and relief operations are being coordinated with the state government, and a task force has been set up to monitor and synergize the efforts, in addition to coordinating with all agencies. It further informed that the IAF has deployed the C-130 aircraft at Leelabadi for the transport of NDRF load and personnel to Kolkata. In addition to the IAF personnel engaged in the rescue and relief operations, an Indian Army column is engaged in evacuation and rescue of civilian population in different parts. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asserted that the country is now better prepared to fight the COVID pandemic, as over time a better understanding to strengthen the strategies against it has evolved. Delivering his keynote address on the occasion of virtual Vesak global celebrations through video conference on Buddha Purnima today, Mr. Modi said the country now has vaccines which are important to save lives and defeat the pandemic. The Prime Minister also expressed condolences to all those who have lost their dear ones during the pandemic. The Prime Minister said that while fighting COVID-19, one must not lose sight of the other challenges faced by humanity like climate change, terror and radicalization. The Prime Minister remarked that the life of Gautam Buddha was about peace, harmony and coexistence. The Prime Minister said Lord Buddha was the reservoir of brilliance for the entire universe. From him we all could draw light from time to time and take the path of compassion, universal responsibility and welfare. Quoting Mahatma Gandhi, Buddha taught us to defy appearances and trust in the final triumph of truth and love. The Prime Minister urged everyone to renew their commitment to the ideals of Lord Buddha.
Mahatma Gandhi rightly said about Gautam Buddha, and I quote, Buddha taught us to defy appearances and trust in the final triumph of truth and love, unquote. Today, on Buddha Purnima, let us renew our commitment to the ideals of Lord Buddha. I join you all in praying to the triple gem to provide relief from the testing times of global COVID-19 pandemic.
Today is Buddha Jayanti or Buddha Purnima. Lord Buddha was born as Prince Siddhartha Gautam on the full moon day in 563 BC in Lumbini, modern-day Nepal. In Hinduism, Buddha is considered as the 9th avatar of Lord Vishnu. His birth anniversary is also known as Vaisakhi Buddha Purnima or Vesak. The full moon day of May is the most important for Buddhists, as on this day Prince Siddhartha was born. He attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, and he attained Mahanirvana at Kusinara on the Vaisakh Purnima.
In Bihar, Buddha Purnima celebrations at Bodh Gaya is symbolic this year as the World Heritage Site Mahabodhi Mahavihar is closed due to lockdown till June 1st in the wake of COVID-19. Lord Buddha attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya. There is no gathering on the Mahavihar campus today in view of COVID. Only 10 monks visited Mahavihar and offered kheer at the statue of Lord Buddha in the Sanctum Sanctorum, followed by chanting of Sutra. The monks also offered flowers at the sacred Mahabodhi tree and held prayer. The puja activities was available on Facebook for other Buddhist devotees across the world. Krishna Kumar Lal, AIR News, Patna.
President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Home Minister Amit Shah have also greeted the people on the auspicious occasion of Buddha Purnima. India's daily COVID recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 13th consecutive day. Over 295,000 patients have recovered from coronavirus disease within the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has further improved to 89.66% in the country. So far, over 2 crore 43 lakh patients have already been recovered from this infectious disease.
India has crossed 20 crore cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage today. India achieved the milestone in 130 days since the start of the vaccination drive. The vaccination coverage crossed the 20 crore mark with 20 crore 6,62,456 doses, including over 15 crore 71 lakh first doses and over 4 crore 35 lakh second dose of vaccines. Our correspondent reports that India had launched the world's largest vaccination drive on the 16th of January this year.
India is the second country after the US to achieve this coverage in just 130 days. The US took 124 days to reach the 20 crore mark. Other leading countries in vaccination drive include the UK, which has reached 5.1 crore mark in 168 days, Brazil reached 5.9 crore mark in 128 days, and Germany reached 4.5 crore mark in 149 days. India is using 3 vaccines against COVID-19 in its immunization drive. These include 2 made in India vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin. The Russian Sputnik is the third vaccine to get approval for emergency use authorization and is being used in few private hospitals. In India, over 34% population above 45 years has received at least first dose of COVID-19 vaccine and over 42% of above 60 years of population has received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
The Union Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that more than 1 crore 77 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. The ministry has said the central government has provided over 22 crore COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. Of this, the total consumption of doses, including wastages, is over 20 crore 13 lakh. The ministry has assured that 1 lakh vaccine doses will be provided to states and union territories within the next 3 days.
Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh today said that vaccination drive is proceeding smoothly in India despite a large population of over 135 crore and heterogeneous character of the country. In an exclusive interview to a news channel, Dr. Singh said India was the quickest to administer 100 million doses of vaccine and fastest to begin vaccinating those above the age of 18. He said, instead of politicizing the issue, everyone should collaborate to make India's vaccination drive a mass movement. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has said that the manufacturers of the Russian vaccine Sputnik have agreed to supply the vaccines to the national capital. He said the talks are going on with the company about how many doses of the COVID vaccine will be provided. Mr. Kejriwal said due to shortage of vaccine, some vaccination centers have been closed.
BJP today hit out at Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal over the latter's remarks over vaccine procurement. The Chief Minister had said that states cannot afford to compete among themselves to buy coronavirus vaccines. Addressing a press conference this evening, BJP spokesperson Shambhit Patra said nearly 20 crore vaccines have been provided by the centre to states and UTs. He said there are more than 1.5 lakh vaccines available in Delhi even today. Mr. Patra asked Mr. Kejriwal not to do politics over the issue of vaccination. Union Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani has said that the Government of India is committed to support and protect every vulnerable child due to loss of both parents to COVID-19.
The centre has allocated over 72,000 vials of antifungal drug amphotericin B to all states and union territories in a span of just 5 days. Union Chemicals and Fertilizers Minister Sadananda Gowda has informed that the government is committed towards ramping up the production of antifungal drug to meet all requirements. He said 29,250 vials of amphotericin B has been allocated today to the states and union territories looking at the increased demand. The Indian Railways has delivered more than 17,945 metric tons of liquid medical oxygen LMO in more than 1,080 tankers to various states and across the country. The Railway Ministry has informed that so far 272 oxygen expresses have completed their journey and brought relief to various states. In a scale-up of operations which continued till late yesterday night, 12 oxygen expresses with 969 metric tons of medical oxygen started their journeys from cyclone-hit eastern states and beat tough weather to take relief to the nations.
The government today said that the incoming foreign aid to combat COVID-19 is being promptly dispatched to the states and union territories. Union Health Ministry said the centre has been receiving international cooperation of COVID-19 relief medical supplies and equipment since 27th of last month from different countries and organizations.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Very severe cyclonic storm Yas moves towards northwestwards, weakens into severe cyclonic storm, leaves behind heavy damage to property and life. IMD says Odisha, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are much affected by the cyclone. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed his virtual Vesak global celebrations on Buddha Purnima, says life of Gautam Buddha is about peace, harmony and coexistence. National daily COVID-19 recoveries continue to outnumber new cases for 13th consecutive day. Recovery rate further improves to 89.66%. More than 72,000 vials of antifungal drug amphotericin B allocated to all states and union territories in last 5 days. Over 20 crore 6 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered to the beneficiaries till now. Government has no intention to violate right of privacy, says Minister of Electronics and Information Technology Ravi Shankar Prasad. NHAI issues guidelines to ensure service time of not more than 10 seconds per vehicle even at peak hours at toll plazas. And in sports, India assured of 12 medals as Sanjeet, Sakshi, Jasmine Lamboria, Simranjeet Kaur and Shiva Thapa advanced to semi-finals of Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Delhi COVID-19 positivity rate has dipped to below 2% today. The city recorded 1,491 fresh cases in the past 24 hours, while 3,952 patients recovered successfully from the viral disease. More than 53,000 beneficiaries were vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine doses during the last 24 hours in Delhi. With this, more than 51,85,000 vaccine doses have been administered so far. A portal that provides comprehensive details on all the corporate social responsibility CSR activities in Karnataka was launched by Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa in Bengaluru today. Named as Akanksha, the portal will help the corporate sector, government and the donors to utilize CSR funds for government programs. The Chief Minister has said that the portal will usher in transparency in the utilization of CSR funds. He informed that 175 crore rupees of CSR funds are utilized in the state for the health sector to mitigate the pandemic. The UN agency UNSPU has collaborated in the creation of a portal with an objective of making CSR fund utilization easy, simple and transparent.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has said that more than 224,000 people have been vaccinated in the state. Speaking to newspersons at Tiruvallur district, he told that the state had 12,85,000 vaccines in stock and the state was expecting 11,50,000 vaccines. He said that RT-PCR tests were done through 267 centers. The Chief Minister said that the government would ensure that vaccination process would go on till everyone is vaccinated. He told that the demand would be met by manufacturing vaccines in the state. Chief Minister appealed to everyone in the state to vaccinate themselves against the pandemic. In another development, the state government has assured the Madras High Court that people without houses will also be vaccinated. In Meghalaya, 10 deaths were reported due to COVID-19 complications in the last 24 hours, while 846 new cases were also registered during the same time. A statement from the Directorate of Health Services informed that out of the 10 deaths, 8 are from East Khasi Hills district and 1 each from West Jayanti Hills and East Jayanti Hills district. The total number of active cases in the state has gone up to 8,055, while the total fatalities have reached 512.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, establishment of 3 common incubation facility centers worth 7.81 crore at Anantnag, Baramulla and Jammu has been sanctioned by the Government of India. These 3 incubation facility centers will be completed in 1 year time and will be helpful in processing and marketing of agricultural, horticulture, dairy and fish products in Jammu and Kashmir. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program Corona Jagrukta series will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19 tonight. All India Institute of Ayurveda Dr. Alok Thakkar, HOD ENT, will participate in the live discussion. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
Minister of Electronics and Information Technology Ravi Shankar Prasad has said that the government is committed to ensure the right of privacy to all its citizens. He said that at the same time it is also the responsibility of the government to maintain law and order and ensure national security. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has said that the government has no intention to violate a right of privacy when WhatsApp is required to disclose the origin of a particular message. The ministry has said that as per all established judicial dictum, no fundamental rights, including the right to privacy, is absolute and it is subject to reasonable restrictions. The National Highways Authority of India NHAI has issued guidelines to ensure service time of not more than 10 seconds per vehicle even at peak hours at the toll plazas on the national highways. The new set of guidelines will ensure seamless flow of traffic at the toll plazas by not allowing vehicles to queue up more than 100 meters. In a statement, NHAI said, in most of the toll plazas, there is no waiting time after mandatory 100% fast tag. It said if there is a queue of waiting vehicles of more than 100 meters due to some reason, the vehicles will be allowed to pass without paying toll till the queue comes within 100 meters from the toll booth.
Assets under management under Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority PFRDA has crossed 6 lakh crore rupees. Subscribers' contribution to National Pension Scheme NPS and Atal Pension Yojana has built up 6 lakh crore rupees of pension assets after 13 years. The assets under management growth of last 1 trillion rupees has been achieved in just 7 months. The PFRDA has witnessed remarkable growth in the NPS subscribers over the years, with 74.1 lakh government employees in the scheme and 28.37 lakh individuals joining from the non-government sector. As on the 21st of May, the total number of subscribers under NPS and Atal Pension Yojana has crossed 4.28 crore. The Sensex today closed with gains of 380 points. The Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange regained 51,000 mark, while the Nifty at the National Stock Exchange ended 15,300 level. A report from the Business World.
In Asian Boxing Championship, 5 Indians, including 3 women, advanced to the semi-finals with impressive victories as India's assured medal tally rose to 12 in the Asian Championship. Sanjeet Sakshi Jasmine and the Olympic-bound Simranjeet Kaur joined Shiva Thapa in the last four stage following their wins in their quarter-final bouts last night. They added to 7 medals, including that of 6-time world champion MC Mary Kom, that were assured on the day of draws. The Asian Championship has turned out to be great success for India's Olympic-bound boxers. With over 10 medals assured already, it will be yet another successful campaign for the Asian powerhouse. Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 22 and 40 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will also have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius while the maximum is expected to be around 35 degrees. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will vary between 27 and 37 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain. Minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum will go up to 31 degrees. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 39 degrees. Srinagar will also have a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 11 and 27 degrees Celsius. Leh will see a mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between 4 and 18 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 13 and 31 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 18 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 35 degrees. Dehradun will have a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 37 degrees. Chandigarh will see a mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 42 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, rain or thunder showers would occur towards evening or night. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 40 degrees Celsius. Ahmedabad will see a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be 28 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 41 degrees. Bhopal will see a partly cloudy sky with possibility of thunderstorms. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 38 degrees Celsius. Lucknow will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius and the maximum will go up to 32 degrees Celsius. Patna will have a generally cloudy sky with few spells of thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 28 degrees Celsius. And Guwahati will have a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain. The minimum temperature will be around 25 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be 36 degrees Celsius.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Very severe cyclonic storm Yas moves northwestwards, weakens into severe cyclonic storm, leaves behind heavy damage to property and life. IMD says Odisha, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands are much affected by the cyclone. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses virtual Vesak global celebrations on Buddha Purnima. Says life of Gautam Buddha is about peace, harmony and coexistence. National daily COVID-19 recoveries continue to outnumber new cases for the 13th consecutive day. Recovery rate further improves to 89.66%. More than 72,000 vials of antifungal drug amphotericin B allocated to all states and union territories in the last 5 days. Over 20 crore 6 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses administered to the beneficiaries till now. Government has no intention to violate right of privacy, says Minister of Electronics and Information Technology Ravi Shankar Prasad. NHAI issues guidelines to ensure service time of not more than 10 seconds per vehicle even at peak hours at toll plazas. And in sports, India assured of 12 medals as Sanjeet, Sakshi, Jasmine Lamboria, Simranjeet Kaur and Shiva Thapa advanced to the semi-finals of the Asian Boxing Championships in Dubai. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.